I've got a question for you.
Oh, please. I love questions.
If I got locked away and I lost it all today, would you still love me the same?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
I did it again.
Professional.
No.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, friends.
Why do I
Hello,
let
foes.
you do this?
Hello, friends, and hello, foes, and welcome to the Comedian Ones. It's a podcast that really proves that not everyone should have a podcast.
That's
and
true.
Josh shouldn't be on the buttons, especially after a really, really late night.
Josh has just crawled in from the club. He's still wearing his going out clothes. He's still in his mini skirt and his bralette.
And I have a feather boa around my neck.
Yeah,
and everything.
you do.
Joining me today is the man who doesn't wait for me to introduce him. It's Jono.
Yeah, I'm too eager.
I'm
ready to go. I've sat here as you've recorded a podcast with Mike, who's still here, by the way. Hello, Mike. And I'm raring to go. I'm bottled up energy. I've got some zingers ready to go.
You got zingers.
Will you hear them? I don't know. it just sort of depends if it hits me. But Joshua, this is episode something or other, and it is a huge show today.
It's an amazing show.
We're starting off with dining alone.
We're
I'm not lonely. You are.
No, you. After that, Jono, it's what am I doing? Oh yeah, we had a little outing.
Did we?
Week. We went.
Oh,
we hung out together.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't
And
looked at the review.
We're doing a review of a very special place in my heart
And my
yours.
heart as well.
And we'll get to that in the
And
second
all
segment.
the other hearts.
Yeah.
Third segment, Joshua.
Yes.
We're doing a little thing.
We're
going over some irrational fears.
I've been there.
I've been on Hinge recently. I don't know why. I mean, I'm in a happy stable relationship, but I've been on Hinge. And I've noticed some people's irrational fears are very rational fears.
Yeah.
What's your most irrational fear? Oh, spiders. What's your most
that's not
irrational? Leaving the oven on. That's rational.
They're
So I'm going
rational.
to tell these people what some irrational
And
fears are.
you're talking to someone who has innumerable
Yeah.
irrational fears. And after that, Jono, look, we're doing a bit of an interview. We're going to get to know someone who's
Amazing.
been on the podcast a bunch.
Many a time.
Many a time.
A few times?
A few.
Before.
Two?
Two. Yeah,
times.
two. Great.
I'm so excited.
Should we do it?
Yes, we should. First seg?
Yep.
I said the right one this time.
It's good to start with the top.
It's
One day I
good.
reckon we'll start with the fourth, but
Oh,
we'll
we
see.
could have turned it on a 10. I could have gone first if you wanted me to.
You know what? I'm going to edit this in reverse order.
No, don't do that. That's a horrible idea.
I'm not going to. Anyway, Joshua.
It's too much work. You're not doing that.
As you
You're
know,
a busy man.
We're both single boys, right?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to be in denial, Joshua. But
Yeah, if you're in denial, you better swim.
yeah. Oh, I like that because denial is a
I'm
body
getting a
of
nod
water.
from the audience.
Pretend
I'll take
he
it.
doesn't exist.
I can. It's fine. I do it most of the time when I'm hanging out with him too.
Yeah, true. Sometimes you just got to, block it out of your mind. But Joshua, I've been doing a fair bit of dining alone lately.
Hey, you and me both, buddy.
I know. I've been also in Sydney a fair few times this
Must
year.
be nice.
And when I'm there, I'm traveling by
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
And that often involves dining alone. It's weird.
Yeah, you don't. I feel weird dining alone if it's a sit down place.
Okay, so what would you feel okay dining alone?
This is what
a
it comes
takeaway
to.
restaurant. Would you find dining alone at a takeaway place is okay?
It depends what kind.
Okay,
It depends.
Let's go through it. McDonald's, Hungry Jack's, KFC.
Look, any kind of fast food, don't have a problem with it.
Like
it's fine. 'cause
grimy
there's heaps of
fast
people.
food, yeah.
Look, there's a lot of fat, sad people in those. And it's fine.
It feels, and you sit. They have like those shame tables where it's just
Where there's
like
lots of
sitting,
long
just
tables.
long skinny table, and often you'll be like facing the window as
Yeah.
well. Actually, I was in Schnitz once,
Yeah.
and I was before I went to see a superhero movie by myself, which was a weird thing.
What a weird. You seeing a movie full stop
I
is a
know.
weird thing.
But it was it was in the High Point Schnitz, and it was really hot in there, and I was sitting
Yeah.
on the window, and it like looked out into the shopping center.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was weird because there were people walking past. It was so hot, they opened the window.
Oh, no.
There was no boundary between me
And people walking past and just look at you. You're sadly eating
They're
a
there.
schnitzel wrap.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
awful.
So dine-in's fine. Like Schnitz, I think is fine. Nando's, I have no issue eating alone.
Nando's
because it's
on
a borderline.
It's the borderline.
Anything
grilled. Would you do
grilled?
a grilled?
Yes,
'Cause
I have.
I did a grilled, and I was the only person eating
I've done
alone.
it multiple times.
I was in a corner table in a booth,
Yeah.
and there was people
Here's Here's my hot take.
That wasn't good.
If you can order without seeing someone, then it's okay to eat alone.
That's a good idea.
Can you QR code yourself?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
If you have to have an interaction
with a staff member.
Great.
And when they bring you food, it's fine. They'll know you're sad, you're eating alone, it's fine.
But then they'll forget about it.
But when you have to go up and go like, I'm sorry, table for one, and they go, yeah, it's weird. Worries.
I did one in Sydney. It was the first time I'd ever dined alone in a cafe. I think I'd probably had a croissant or something before. But I actually went to have like a proper breakfast.
Yeah.
And it was actually all right because it was it was in like a corporate street. Think of like the Collins Street equivalent. York Street if people know Sydney. And I walked there and there's like 50 people in suits standing around having coffee. I'm like, okay, that's all right. It's like single person culture.
I think cafes are fine. Cafes are also on the borderline.
And that worked because it was like the hustle and bustle culture.
Yeah.
People coming. And I was sitting there, no one cared. If it was like the middle of the day, mum and pop kind of cafe, people with prams and stuff, I would feel weird about doing that. Because yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to go have a meal by myself for lunchtime. I was on annual leave. Must be nice, sunny day. And I went to a cafe that I often go to, and they've got like a little courtyard with some grass. I went there. It was just mums and prams.
Ooh.
There were other dogs.
Did you still go?
I didn't go. I avoided because I'm like, that would feel weird.
100%. I agree with you. Here's what it is. If the place is not a name that's like a takeaway or a dine-in takeaway place and is like a little bit too nice, I'm like, I feel weird sitting in there by myself. Weird. It's like walking down Lygon Street and all those places where like, I think they would definitely take me if they went, oh, sir, have you eaten? You know, those people that stand in the face and they go, hi, sir. Did you want to come in and eat something? I'm like, no, I don't know.
They
would 100% spruik me in.
They would.
They'd spruik me.
But then they make you feel bad probably by putting two menus on the table.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not with someone. They great.
But no, I avoided the cafe just because too many groups of people sitting, and I'm like, I don't want to be sitting there because I had to go in the courtyard, so I didn't want to be sitting there with Oscar, with other groups of people, and I'm just like sitting there with all these mums. I avoided, and I went to the pub that you, me, King Mike, we often go to. The problem with this, very, very quiet on a Friday at 12 p.m., right? And I had to go into the beer garden.
Yeah.
I was the only person there, and clearly no one goes into the beer garden on a weekday.
On a weekend.
at 12 p.m. So I'm like, this is the only place I really know. So I went there. Way too much interaction with the staff because it's a big beer garden, and you know where we normally sit.
And the issue with that particular beer garden is there's a kitchen door that opens out onto it.
That's right.
So people come out and through.
Yeah, it's like a long skinny,
or they
can come through both
and
doors.
They both sides.
Yeah,
and they just keep passing you, and you go, uh-oh.
It's very awkward. So I was just sitting there, and then a guy's obviously come to like put some beer barrels in the back or whatever, and he's seen me, and then he's kind of had to have like a conversation with me, and then every time he comes through, I'm the only person there, so he's talking to me, and then the QR code thing wasn't working, so he kept having to run back up the front and then come down to talk to me, but then it's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 meters to get to where I was sitting in the middle. So he's coming
I hate
through.
that actually.
It was way too much attention.
Yeah.
So then he's had to do the thing, you know, where they come and check on you. Oh, how's everything going once I've got my food? And he's comes through and he's walking like 8 meters up to me. Oh, how's everything going? Yeah, good. Okay, great. And then he leaves. It was just...
That is a nightmare.
It was too much attention.
Do you also feel like you can only have certain kinds of foods if you're eating alone?
All right, would this food work? A pint and a cauliflower pie.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you're fine actually with that. I think you're fine with, like, I think spaghetti's a little sad to eat by yourself.
Oh, I don't think you can eat pasta by yourself.
Eat pasta by yourself.
Because who's going to Lady in the Tramp you?
This is the thing,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You have to think about, is there a Lady in the Tramp potential?
I mean, I did it with the waiter.
It's like you can't have champagne by
yourself
yourself because you expect to do that thing where you go through a large that you drink.
You can have a pint by yourself.
Yeah, but that's because like
sad
people drink pints by themselves.
My favourite thing, excuse me. Sorry. My favourite thing ever I was going to say was having a airport beer by myself.
Yeah, but again, context-wise, it's an airport.
Have you ever had an airport beer by yourself?
No, but
you
fingers
two,
crossed,
when
Mike.
you go away this week, split up. go separately and have an airport beer by yourself.
Yeah.
It is great because think about
Designated
right?
alone time, but have a beer at that.
Exactly.
There.
I've been in the big smoke, right? Hustle and bustle, corporate culture. I've escaped on the train, busy. Lots of tourists going to Bondi, right?
Yeah.
Too busy. I get to the airport.
Yeah.
I pay my $18.20 for a pint. Very reasonable price.
Very reasonable.
Very reasonable price.
Mike's sad about that. He's like, I can't believe it's $18 for a pint.
Very reasonable
There's
price.
a very reasonable
for a
very
beer I could
reasonable.
get for $12 in
Yep,
Melbourne.
yep.
And I sit down, right? Everyone's going around.
And it's one of
me.
those big windows where you see all the planes going by.
You see the guys like smashing the suitcases because that say fragile on them. Sunset, very nice. There's people running around you. Oh, last boarding call for JF 758. Right,
Yeah.
so it's not JF. I wouldn't fly Jetstar QF.
Oh,
I mean,
must be.
Qantas.
Wow.
And you're sitting there.
I can't believe this.
Time slows down.
You big time me. Sorry, I'm still throwing over the Jetstar.
Yeah, I big
I
time.
mean, it's a bad flight.
Mate,
It's
you're
a bad
going on a
plane.
Dreamliner. So
No, that's what they call me back in high school.
you have a sip.
Yeah.
Everything quietens down. It's just you and an $18.20 pint.
Do you think you're
And
selling
everything
this, or
is
is it
good
getting
again.
worse the more you try and sell me
Look,
this?
I'm almost like talking myself out of it in a way. But I think that's appropriate. So the final rules, Joshua.
Yeah.
You can eat alone at a takeaway joint.
Yes.
You can't eat alone in a courtyard with other women and babies.
Yep.
Other women and babies?
Yep.
You can not go to a pub by yourself, but
Especially if it's 12 p.m. on a
12 p.m.
weekend
on a Friday.
with your Greyhound.
But it's okay if you order a pie.
And it's not okay if you order pasta.
Or champagne.
Or champagne.
And airport beer is a rip-off.
Yeah. Reviewing me, reviewing you. There is nothing we can't review. Reviewing me, reviewing you. We just have to face it. It's true, it's true. Let's review.
Oh, yeah.
As I alluded to I'm just going to move straight on.
Let's review. Sorry, I was just in there from.
I was just spellbound by your performance right there.
Just opened my eyes and like, oh,
You
fuck,
see me
here we
staring
are.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun time this morning.
Has been a fun
it's
time.
It's a Saturday morning
It's
record.
a Saturday morning. Josh, as I mentioned on an episode that will come out after we're recording this one, or maybe I can't remember which podcast session this is on. We're
Time
recording
is weird.
17 podcasts today. Josh has just come back from the club.
I'm feeling a little out of it, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's okay because I'm actually
Do you know,
feel much
it's
better
almost afternoon and you're complaining about it being the morning.
now. No, I know. Okay, so Jono, we
Yep.
did
Hi,
a
Josh.
wonderful
How are you? You good?
hangout this week.
We
I'm
did.
just pushing straight
We did
through.
so good.
We hung out.
We did hang
That's
out.
nice. I
We
like
often
hanging
hang
out.
out.
We
I
do.
like hanging out with
It's
you.
nice.
You're my dreamliner.
That's me. We went to the aquarium.
We did, because I'm on annual leave and you're
You're on annual
unemployed.
leave,
So
and
we
I'm
thought,
unemployed.
what are we going to do
Let's go to the aquarium and
on
then have a
Wednesday?
couple goat milks, which
Yeah.
is a joke that no one understands yet.
True.
But you'll be like, oh my God, in a few weeks, you're like, fuck,
You'll get
Josh
it.
made a joke and it's like a callback that's actually in the future.
Start of the day, Joshua. Let's kick it
Yeah.
off. What was the very first thing that happened when we got to the aquarium?
We got to the aquarium. There were people lined out the wazoo for this thing.
We got to there before doors fucking opened. Queue out the fucking
Queue out
door,
the
down the road.
There were students already in the damn thing as well.
Unbelievable. It was literally like, I said to Josh, it's the Black Friday Walmart sales. That's what it felt
we
like.
were going in there going, here's what we're going to do. We'll be smart.
Yeah.
We'll get there when it
Weekday?
opens.
Weekday?
There won't be a weekday.
Morning, early as possible.
Early.
Dead. It'll
Dead.
be dead.
Nah.
Not dead.
No, actually
Not dead.
very busy.
It was pumping. The first, before we get to the first part, when we get in, I had a fucking gift voucher.
Yeah, so you had a voucher to get in.
Yeah.
And that was something we were panicking because
She'd never seen a gift voucher before. But yeah, also, I had the voucher, which my mum had got me for Christmas. So it was printed out on a piece of paper. And then I also had to book a time slot.
which we spent about 20 minutes trying to figure
so
out how
difficult.
to do.
Tried to call the aquarium. They don't have a phone number. Which is
They've
crazy.
gotta have a phone number.
They don't have a phone number.
I don't believe
Because
they
otherwise, too many people. I couldn't find it anywhere. So then she's like, "Oh, so this is a voucher," and then I go, "I've got the time slot." She's like, "Oh, but the time slot you haven't paid for anything." I'm like, "Yeah, because the time slot's free because I got the voucher." So she's like, "Do you actually have a ticket?" I'm like, "Yeah, the ticket is the voucher." And then she ended up just kind of going, "Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
that's all good."
And the other thing
Yeah.
going into this is we realized that we weren't going to be able to see one of the best parts of the aquarium.
The best part, Joshua,
the sharks and the rays.
When they go over you,
They go over
into
you
a
in the
big
tunnel?
tube, the big mega aquarium. 3 million gigatron liters.
That's correct.
We could use that water for Melbourne's water supply.
Maybe
Take some of that.
Take some of that.
They've emptied it, actually.
Have they emptied it?
Well, that's why it wasn't there.
Ah.
Yeah.
But what happened to all the sharks and stuff in it?
Good question. There's a fish and chip shop on the waterfront there.
There's just been a little extra mahi-mahi in the fish and shop
but the
nearby.
The shark expedition had closed.
But we were excited because what was in its place, Jono?
An immersive digital experience.
Which are always good.
Josh said to me, the shark exhibition is closed. And I've gone, that is terrible news. And then he said...
I said, guess what, though?
And I said,
excited.
What?
There's an immersive digital experience.
And I said, well, we're going to be okay then.
We'll be fine.
Joshua, we made our way through the hordes of people in a big
We
tube.
finally got in.
We got there.
We realized that there were lots of schools.
Lots of schools.
Lots of school children there.
So many schools.
But the good thing is there was like a guy like standing in front of each talking about it. And we stood there and we listened to this
That was good. Definitely wasn't for us, but we were leeching off their group. Dodging mums and prams.
Dodging mums and prams.
What happened to the mums and prams? I feel like we got like 20 minutes in and
they
then
disappeared.
They just disappeared. I think they didn't come upstairs or whatever.
No,
They
it
just
seemed like a little bit too much work getting upstairs.
Yeah, but we made it to the immersive digital experience.
We did.
First thing, we come down, just dead. There's like no one down there. Maybe
And it had one of those like projections on the walls.
1 minute and 52 seconds.
It will
1
start.
minute and 50 seconds.
And now going into it, I was worried. I'm like, I have so high hopes for
Yeah.
this digital immersive experience.
That's right.
Or to shorten it, die.
I was excited to die.
I was excited to die.
What were you expecting? Because I was expecting like you'd go in, light show, voice, like you're standing there and there's like projections going around you and shit.
I was expecting like David Attenborough or someone going,
now
in the Northern Ocean near India.
The ignoramus dickfish swims through and the squashed ass bludgeon face is now reproducing.
Something that I think we realized going through this and seeing fish for the first time as adults, all fish have very unflattering names.
It's so bad. There's the Empire Gudgeon.
Gudgeon's a great word.
What the fuck?
What's
the
a gudgeon?
Ornate cowfish.
Love an ornate cowfish.
Come on, guys.
Can you name something other than an animal we already have?
Like come up with a name?
Like name something that's other than like cowfish or parrotfish. Have you heard of the parrotfish?
I have heard of the parrotfish.
Love a parrotfish.
We
That's
saw
my
a
favorite
parrotfish.
fish.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
I missed the. I didn't even see the
like that
parrotfish.
second level before we got to the
You're
jellyfish.
So right.
Yeah.
Oh, the parrotfish is awesome. It has a beak and it makes snot bubbles when it sleeps.
That's true. Yeah, but I feel like they shouldn't use existing animals, especially because fish were there
cheating.
first.
It's true.
Yeah.
They were there OG, but then a
OG
bunch of people were.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this thing. Hey, Gerald, what do you think? It's a gudgeon. Got him.
Fucking
that one off.
got him. Oh, what's it called? The blobfish. Oh, fucking got him. got him. Yeah. So we walk through into the immersive digital experience. It starts. What's the first thing that happens?
We're in the tunnel, and the tunnel is covered, so you don't see anything else.
Don't see anything.
Some stars and a purple light flashing.
And it was like not even digital at that stage.
No,
it was just
wasn't.
like paper with lights on
and
it.
we're like, this is excited. We're walking
through.
We want the digital immersive experience.
We're walking through, and we're like, fuck, it's going to hit us.
And then the
There's
big
gonna be an
open thing
explosion.
where all the aquariums are, and what do we see?
Just a couple of chairs.
A couple of chairs? No, yeah.
Like some seats.
And there was sort of a really
Just like a
badly
circle going
animated
around us.
squid.
Yeah, it was
thing.
just a projection of an animated squid. No voiceover.
No voiceover.
No music.
No
just
context,
ambient
really.
sounds. Nah.
I didn't completely understand. It's supposed to be like, oh, it's deep sea and there's squid.
It's just a squid, and it was like cartoon squid.
It was a little bit of weird. It was a bit of an uncanny valley squid, wasn't it?
Yeah, but just wasn't right.
And it was weird because I was just so sure that the digital immersive experience
was going to be immersive.
It was going to be immersive
and digital
and
an
an
experience.
experience. And honestly, it was kind of just
none of those things really.
I mean, by definite, maybe digital is the only thing it was.
It was like almost you could claim it wasn't digital.
No, it was a little bit like if have you ever watched the movie Monster House?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like those early 2000s movies when they thought we can animate something because we saw
Kiki's
Toy
delivery
Story.
service.
No, I'm talking about like a 3D animation where they're
Yeah,
like,
Kiki, have you seen Kiki's delivery
that's not
service?
3D.
Oh, is it not?
No, that's a good film. I'm talking about like crappy, like Hoodwinked. If you know, what I'm
No.
talking. People know what I'm talking about. You don't. I'm not talking to
80
you.
episodes in, movie references are just not the way.
I'm talking about like early 2000s 3D animation
Sure.
where they thought it was good, and then on retrospect, it looks
Harry
crap.
Potter.
Yeah, sure.
When they do the Quidditch scene.
Yeah, sure. We'll go. With
I
that.
don't think that's correct.
No,
But yes.
but it's not what I'm going for. But,
But it
I
was just
appreciate
bad.
you. I appreciate your.
I'm trying.
You tried to assist.
It was just bad. It just
It was
wasn't
bad.
good.
So I guess let's give some scores for this because this is a
Okay.
review segment.
I'll give them to you. I've got 5 categories.
Okay, 5
They're all out of
categories.
exactly 5 points each.
Yeah,
right.
it wouldn't go over
The
there,
first
ever.
category, fish.
10.
10 out of 5. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Second one, happiness of the fish.
Question mark.
Yep, cool.
Question mark.
3 is hospitality by the staff.
How do you feel about the hospitality yourself?
I feel like it was good.
Yeah.
The cafe
Yeah.
wasn't good.
The cafe wasn't good. It was a sticky floor.
There was the only sticky floor. We're the only people in there.
Yeah.
We order coffees and they give us the buzzers. We don't need the buzzer if we're the
we don't-
only
yeah, why do we
customers.
need the buzzer? Why did they get the buzzer?
And then, did you notice when she made the coffees,
Yeah.
she didn't take them to the pick up here part.
No, she just waited for us
took
to
them
come back
to
to
cash
do the-
register. Yeah. So that was nice. So I'm going to say 3.
3 out of 5.
We're on number 4. Immersive digital experience and stingrays.
Oh, I mean, 0, kind of.
But there were stingrays.
There were stingrays.
Yeah. So 1.
1. Okay.
And then the second one, tractors.
10.
10. So that comes down to about 17 out of 25.
I think that's about right.
That's a decent
I think we did
score.
pretty good.
Yeah. Would you
All
go
right.
back again? I wouldn't.
Nah,
No.
I think I'm good. I think I've done
feel
all my
bad
thing
for
for
the
the first
fishies.
time.
All right, goodbye.
See you later. Oh my god, it's a mid-roll.
Mid-roll time,
Mid-roll
baby.
time. This is the final
I'm just going
record
to clear
before
my
I go
throat.
overseas.
Do you mind if I clear my
Yeah,
throat
you
into
can
the
clear your throat.
microphone?
Go for it.
Yeah, I feel good.
Oh, thank
better
you so
now,
much.
yeah.
I think everyone wanted to hear that and they supported.
I've cleaned
it's
that
about
now.
being close to the people, and
Yeah.
you're no closer than when someone coughs into the mic.
Spanner. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say thank you for everyone for listening. We have.
You were going to
been-
say it's the last before call
Yes,
before we go away.
I'm going overseas.
Getting
I'm
in a
go-
big jet plane?
I'm going to be out of practice for
I
a
know.
month.
Well,
And I don't know
it's
how I'm
not
gonna
going
feel
to really
about that.
change anything.
No, it won't.
Are you going to have an airport beer for $18.20?
Nah, probably not.
I reckon you should.
You reckon I should?
I reckon you should.
But you can't have. You have to have an airport beer alone.
You have to.
Do you reckon I should tell Mike? Oh yeah, Mike. Let's separate. Let's both go to separate bars,
Separate bars.
but visible, so we can see each other.
Just sit behind each other.
Sit behind
Actually,
each
I tell
other.
you what would be nice. You and
Yeah.
I should do this one day. Just a beer in solidarity. So we sit next to each other, but we don't talk. We just have headphones in. We're looking at our crossword book, and we're just having a beer in solidarity for an hour. Just silence.
That's like a silent retreat, but for men
Yeah.
in their
In their
40s.
40s. Sometimes Rolls and I, when we're on a big road trip together or whatever, we'll just have like 2 hours in the car where we decide not to talk to each other.
I
'Cause
like that.
You just got to recharge your
you
batteries.
you need recharge social
Yeah.
battery, and sometimes you just need to be on top of that.
And sometimes it's hard.
And
Anyway, so we
and
digress.
talk about social. You know how
Media.
you could get your social media battery filled? Go to Comedians on Instagram.
That's right.
On TikTok.
Yep.
On YouTube.
Yep.
We've got things coming.
We've
there
got
are big
big
things
things coming.
And I've got more work to do
Huge.
before I go
Huge
on that.
things.
And it's so exciting.
Big things. Oh, we
Huge
finished that
things.
part. Yep.
Big, 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 huge.
Is 1.5 inches big?
Does it matter if you're more wider than you are long?
Yeah, I'm like majority wide. So it's like 1 inch wide, half an inch long.
You know what
That's
else
good.
is 1 inch wide and
next
half an inch?
slide.
Yeah.
Joshua, are you
Yeah.
on Hinge?
I am.
Great, because I'm on Hinge as well. So this works.
Do you have it set so we could see each other on Hinge?
Nah,
Oh, you
you're
don't
on my
swing?
block list.
Ooh, you reported me. Is that why? Is that?
Yeah. But Joshua, on Hinge, we've
Okay.
been through this before. There's little
Yeah.
prompts, right? And it'll be like, what do you order for the table? And you
Yeah.
picked up that people were doing this wrong.
Yeah, they do. They
were
do
just
it
saying,
wrong.
I would order a chicken parma.
That's so true.
Not
It's
good.
So true, Bessie.
What are some of the other prompts?
Oh, they have like, what is your like yesterday me, or like, pick what's your first date? Pick your first date, and they'll have
And
three
then
things.
like a poll. Yep.
and then you'll choose one, and then you can comment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there's another one,
Yeah.
Irrational Fears.
Irrational
and
Fears.
that's meant to be something that's not a real fear.
Yeah.
It's also something that's meant to be funny.
Yeah.
And to sort of, aren't you a silly little Billy? Have
Have you got one for you as a rational fear?
I think I did one, and it was currently my thing is like the way to win me over, and it's like the eggs, perfect poached eggs that are gooey on the inside.
Oh.
My irrational fear was a poached egg that was hard on the inside.
I do like that.
See, that's
comedy.
is an irrational
because
fear.
you set something up and
Yeah.
then you undercut
Smash
that.
it back
And
down.
it's important to explain that. to
That's
people.
right. So
People love being
I thought
explained.
we'll do just this and go
Yeah.
through a couple of irrational fears.
Because people
like
don't.
that.
I do see sometimes they'll go spiders, and like you said, they'll be like that's a very rational fear.
Very rational fear, right?
I realized
Yep.
the other last week I looked up above where I sit at my computer, and there was
Yep.
a spider web, and I said I'm going to get the vacuum or the broom and go whoop,
Because you were rationally terrified.
a fear of a spider.
That's right. But Joshua, as I said, one of my irrational fears, poached eggs that are gooey
Yeah.
on the that are not gooey on the inside.
because it's
That's not
dry
good.
and it coats your mouth, and then you cough, and it's like it's not good.
Bad. Another irrational fear of mine,
Yeah,
opening up a Coke bottle,
yeah.
no sound. No, it's just flat. Because what if someone's urinated in that, Joshua? I'm
That's important.
genuinely
That's so important.
terrified of that. Every time I open it, even if it does make a sound,
Yeah.
but not all of the little teeth on the thing are there,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Oh,
what if someone's
100%.
put their feces in there, Joshua?
What if it's been sitting in one of those shops for like 3 months,
Exactly.
and you're like, that thing's not good.
No good. All right, I'll do one more before I pass it to
Please
you.
do.
Dying alone. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Mine come a lot with like anxieties that happen within a group.
Okay,
And it happens
yep,
like
yep.
like if you're like at like a performance or something, right?
Yeah.
One of my irrational fears is like not being the first one to stop clapping. like you know what I mean though? Like if you stop clapping and everyone claps for another 5 seconds.
Yeah, so you don't wanna
you're
be like
clapping,
and then
get
stop,
clapping,
and then
you
everyone
stop,
else
and
is
everyone's
still
clapping. You're like,
clapping?
oh
Yeah.
crap, I better keep clapping.
That happened to
I don't wanna
you
be-
when we went to Hamilton.
Yeah.
It was one of
yeah.
those ones
Yeah.
where it's like you clap and then you stop and then you clap again and you like did a few claps and then stopped and everyone's like
I gotta keep clapping. I gotta keep clapping.
Yeah.
In the same realm, after the performance,
Yeah.
everyone's sitting down like, oh, this is very nice. Being the first one to stand
Stand
up.
up.
I don't want to be it happens on planes.
Yeah.
It happens in any of those things where like you're in a group of people
I don't
and there's
know-
a chance to stand up. I don't want to be
I
the
don't know
first
why
one.
people do it on planes.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
Literally 15, 20 minutes, they're just standing there half bent.
Oh my God. We will talk about this probably after I've been on a
Oh my God.
on a plane
Every time I
after
want
my
to play
holiday,
this
but
year, I'm like,
100%.
why are
drives
people
me
doing that?
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have one other one
Okay,
for you.
yeah.
This one's again in the same. Actually, it's not. It's when you're at like a family gathering.
Yeah.
And like it's a rational fear of taking the first piece of cake
Oh my God.
or being the
No.
first one to stand up to get something from the table.
What's worse, the first piece of cake,
Yeah.
or the last piece of cake? Because that was on my list.
Oh, last piece of cake.
Last piece of
Yeah,
cake.
that's what-
that is
that's
terrifying.
terrifying.
And I tell you what, the strategy is though. You offer it to someone else. Because one of two things are going to happen.
They'll say yes.
or
and
they'll
you're,
say,
you're a
and
hero.
you feel great, or they'll say no.
Yeah, you can have it.
You have it.
I'll be like, yeah.
And because you've already offered
Yeah.
it, you've broken the tension.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants that cake to go to someone.
Yeah, and
so
you can be
if
the
you
first
take
one.
it, you can be the hero and eat the
Or
last piece of cake.
as someone who's quite a fast eater, and I try my hardest to not be,
Yeah.
but being the first one to be eating, and I realize I'm eating a bit too fast.
Yeah.
And I finish eating, and everyone's still eating. I'm like, oh God, I gotta.
That
I don't
happened
wanna
to
stand
me
it.
the first time that I went to Sydney. I was at lunch with like 5 people. They were all eating, and
Yeah.
I wasn't really talking that much. I was just eating, and then I realized I
Yeah.
finished like way before everybody
Yeah.
else.
That's
and I'm
wild myself,
like
but you
sitting
as
there.
well.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Here's what I
What do you
realized.
do? Yeah.
And this is knowing now that my cousins hear this, they'll know this now, which is I will always try to be the person that keeps the conversation going.
Yeah.
So that I feel like I'm a little bit behind people, knowing that I'll catch up and I'll probably finish my plate at the
Yeah.
same time if I'm the one carrying the conversation.
That's usually the situation I find myself in, especially with you and your mates.
Yeah,
They're
thanks so
fucking out,
much.
no one fucking says anything, and I'm the discussion director. I'm like, fucking I'll pitch someone a conversation, and they'll go like, yep. I'm like, fuck. I was hoping to buy myself a minute here
Yeah,
so
so
I
you
could,
can- you
so
can
I could
take a
eat.
bite of your food.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a
Yeah.
great one. All right, I've got two for you.
Okay,
Never finding
fantastic.
anybody and being alone
Being
forever.
alone forever, yeah.
And then another one.
Yeah.
That one day a convertible is going to pull up and they're going to take me away. Because one day it will
Yeah.
happen. I've
Yeah.
had it too good for too long, Josh. One day, if someone's going to come out, there's going to be a man with a briefcase and a suit jacket.
We'll have a completely bald head.
Completely
and he'll
bald
walk
head.
up to you and go, Mr. Jonathan Steele.
Yeah, and I'll be like, yep. And he'll be like,
Can you please follow me to the car, please?
and I'll be like, yep.
You'll be like,
Yep, I knew
"Yeah,
this
it's
day was coming because it will happen to me one day.
You really
They're
think
gonna
so?
they're gonna take me to the place where all the crazy people go, Joshua. That's what's gonna happen. Or like one day I'll be at work and
Yeah.
the guy will come and he'll be like, "You shouldn't be here." I'll be like, "I know,
I know.
I know,
Follow me,
I know."
please,
Like, it was a good run, guys.
Yeah.
But now it's time for me to go. Yes. Anyway, another one I have.
We're
is,
lonely. We'll always be
just
alone.
perishing. Do you have one? Because I've got
No,
one
go.
that I can
Finish
close
us
this
off.
off
What do you
with.
got?
Now, I live next door to a school, Joshua.
Oh.
And you would think that my fear would be that someone might think it's odd for a man to live next door to a school.
Not when you're in an apartment complex of many people,
Yeah, that's
which is
true.
an interesting thing to think without
that we
even
all live next
context.
door.
Yeah.
But my irrational fear is that these girls are going to make fun of me.
Oh my God, true.
So every
So
morning
true.
and every evening, they're like on the street, right?
Yeah.
Like waiting for their parents to pick
And
them
they'll be
up.
like,
They're
oh
being
my
dropped
God,
off.
you
They're
look
just-
like a stick.
Honestly, they're just hordes and hordes of teenage girls hanging around, thousands of them, and I'm like
And
walking
they're
along.
the meanest.
I'm genuinely terrified that they're gonna make
It's
fun of me.
weird that you call yourself a Swiftie. Maybe you could get on their good side with that though.
That's true.
Maybe you're just like you can see
No,
they're
but
about to
then
say
they're
something,
gonna be like,
and then
"Oh,
you play.
that-"
Then you play. So now we got bad.
No, but they'll be like, oh, that like weird stick man who lived next door to
And he
us.
plays Taylor
like
Swift.
likes Taylor Swift.
Creepy
'Cause
man.
I tell you where this comes from,
Yeah,
actually. And maybe
yeah.
this is rational. One day, we went to it was kind of like a co-ed school, kind of wasn't. It was weird.
50-50.
Yeah. I'm walking across the Oval one day, and it was like year 8 girls soccer training happening. This
Okay,
is when I
yep,
was like
yep,
18
yep,
in like year
100%.
12. And they're playing, and the worst possible thing that could ever happen happens.
ball kicked
The ball
towards you.
kicked to me.
And you're like,
oh my God.
I
would
got
have
kicked the
been
ball for like.
years. I would have
Years.
been more than 50 meters
It
away
was
from
pre
them.
Matildas.
I'm like,
no,
what,
it wasn't.
What do I do? If I pick it up and throw it, I'm confident the throw will be accurate, but I'm not going to make the distance. and I'm also going to look like a goober from picking up
But
the
was
ball.
there someone running over to get? To,
No,
to
they were
chase-
just standing there
They're
and they had
looking at
like
you.
their hand up.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, fuck, I have to. I'm like, if I just like tap it with the side of my foot, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to go far enough. And I know
What kind of wussy kicks do you have?
because I have zero leg control.
As you know,
right?
we're both very manly. and they
very
have
manly and
lots
athletic.
Of, lots of
so
athletics.
I go to kick this ball and I
Yeah.
do a bit of a run up. Don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, no.
Because I'm like, the run up's going to give me more power.
Oh, no.
I'm wearing my 15 kilogram school bag.
And blazer.
School shoes, blazer, long pants. I kick this thing. It almost goes behind me. It was the worst moment of my life.
and everyone's
Like,
staring at you, laughing.
you know, like when you're playing baseball,
Yeah.
if you hit it to the left, like
it's out completely, yeah.
That's what I did. I managed
Oh,
to kick
no.
it like the opposite way.
Ugh.
So now every time I see teenage girls, I'm like, they're gonna make
This is
fun
actually
of me.
this is so relatable because when I take my dog for a walk, we'll go to
Yeah.
the park, right?
Yeah.
And I have my tennis ball. I'm okay just throwing the tennis ball, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes
Do you have
like,
one of the
No,
things?
my dog fucking goes crazy about that thing. She does not like that thing.
Really?
She's like, I don't know what that is, but she'll just keep barking and barking and
Right,
barking.
so she
at
just wants you to
at
throw it with your
chuck
hand.
it.
Yeah.
And I'll throw it, but I'll do that thing where maybe I don't throw it properly, and then I'll throw it like I'll keep the ball down.
You
and I'll
don't
go
release and it hits the ground.
hits the ground, and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm looking around and I see some guy with a German Shepherd. I'm like, crap, he saw me do this jump. But he thinks I'm bad at throwing tennis balls, which is not something that I promised that I would ever be good at doing.
No.
Or anything else. But for some reason, at that immediate moment, it's like, no, that's important for me.
Yeah.
And it's
exactly.
And that's an irrational fear.
Thank you very much. I'm scared of dying alone.
So, Jono,
Hello.
this is an interesting part of the show.
Okay.
Because what I wanted to do was
so interesting.
we have a lot of people who come to the show and give and they're great characters and people and real people
lots of
that
people
we know.
Very busy.
Very busy.
I'm almost getting kicked out of my apartment because so many visitors are
and then we get interrupted by like Skypes and calls and being sent to the detention.
We get it done.
We get it done.
We don't turn people
away.
away.
What I thought was
we have an open home.
We do, but we need to. I wanted to get to the bottom of like some of these people and like learn a bit more about them.
Exactly.
I wanted. They can't just be like one-sided characters or something.
They're not
out of nowhere.
We've always just heard them like by themselves, so it will kind of be nice to sort of get to know them a little bit better.
For sure.
And
I thought it would only be fair that the person we start this series of interviews is the producer. Oscar.
He's actually just sleeping over there at the moment, getting some Z's.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come up in a moment.
Be right as rain to come up. Yeah,
and so I guess I've just got a couple of questions. I wanted to sort of get to know him. And
because we know them for what they do on the podcast.
Yeah,
but we want to know them
the
as
real,
people.
the real them.
You
want to know the real them.
Oh,
there's no
great.
intro to this. I just thought we should let's have an interview with them.
Do you want me to go and get?
Could you get them?
Josh, I'm actually so sorry.
No,
I don't think I can do this segment anymore.
No,
because I've just seen how sunny the grass is out there.
You want to roll around?
I just want to roll around in the grass.
That's
Do you mind
fine.
if I roll around in the grass?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Oscar, can you just jump up?
So, Oscar's coming up. He's here.
Hi, Oscar. I'm Greyhound. I'm producer for Comedian.
Thank you so much for coming.
Last time I was on the show, I talked about my story, how I do we were in the put boy at the dog school so I can learn how to be a good boy. And it was one of the most talked about segment I heard. Everyone said it was fantastic.
Everyone really loved your segment.
Yeah, now
Oscar.
you put me back on. Get the rating back up.
Yeah, that's correct.
Rating go back down.
Yeah, no, they did.
Go back up.
Goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of goes.
Yeah.
And Oscar, I thought I could just ask
My
you
name
some
Oscar.
questions. Yeah, your name's Oscar.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my first question. What's your name?
My name Oscar.
Do you have a dog's your last name?
Dog my last name.
Dog's your last name. Did Jono give you that name?
Yeah, Johnson, he called me Oscar Dog
That's
on the
great.
legal form.
Legal form dog.
So
wow.
my name is Oscar Dog, and I really like
So
it.
I've actually just pulled up like some celebrity questions. I'm sure they should be fine. It should work out
that's
fine.
because I am Oscar.
You Oscar.
Yeah.
So do you know who is your role model?
Oh, I like a Johnson.
John.
I love Johnson.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing he does?
Oh, he's so big.
He's so big.
So big.
He's so big.
I want to be like a Johnson when I grow up because I am a big dog.
Yeah.
And he is so big.
And is he kind of, you sort of think he looks a lot like you in that way, doesn't he? He's quite long.
Very long
like
and
you.
very skinny.
Skinny.
Yeah.
And you run like
Yeah, I don't like running.
You don't like running.
I don't like running.
You don't running. How's the walking going? You're a big
sometimes Johnson fucking me off because he's always like, Oscar, time to go for walkies. And I like being horizontal the most. Yeah.
You're a sleeper.
But
you love sleeping.
I love sleeping and I like
Do you
Johnson.
have a favorite dream that you've had?
Oh, I dream of a sardine. Yeah. Last night I have a dream.
Yeah.
And the night before I had the same dream. And the night before I had the same dream.
And do you do that thing when like you sleep and you feel like you're like grabbing something as you're
so
dreaming?
I had the dream and my leg were moving because I was a sardine and I was swimming
through the ocean.
Yeah, and I really like it because I was a very big sardine because sardine and long and skinny.
Yeah.
And I'm long and skinny too.
You are.
But
And
I
you're
would
just
be
like
a
a
good
sardine.
sardine because I'm so long.
Do you want to be a sardine when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be a sardine.
Do you want to be a sardine but also be like Johnson?
Well, Johnson, I want to have his size.
Okay.
But then I want to be a sardine.
With the scales and all.
Love sardine.
You love sardine?
Yeah.
What is something that you would never say to another person?
You don't deserve. No, I have another thought.
Yeah? Okay.
You are a bad dog.
You would never tell someone
Never
that.
tell someone. It's so rude.
Has anyone told you that before?
Yeah, once Johnson told me when I did the wee-wee on the bed. I did the wee on his bed.
Oh, no.
Because I didn't mean to, but
No.
I just got very excited one day.
Yeah, and then you did
and
wee
I
on his
started
bed.
weeing and I couldn't stop. And he said, Oscar, you're a bad dog. I felt very sad.
You felt sad.
And I don't want anybody to ever feel
no.
how I did that day.
And so you don't want no one should be called a bad dog.
No, don't say it.
Don't
it's
say
a
it.
bad
I'll
word,
never say it
naughty
again.
word.
I promise,
You
Oscar.
need to
I promise.
peep out.
That's great.
I feel sad. You call me bad dog.
I don't. I think you're an amazing dog.
Good
You're
boy.
you're a good dog.
Good boy.
You're a good
Because I
dog.
went to dog school.
You went to good doggy
Yeah,
school. And
I learned
how did that go?
I learned how to be good boy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you have your greatest achievement?
Oh, my greatest achievement
Yeah.
one day, I ate a sardine and the sardine went into my water bowl
Yeah.
and I make a new drink called the sardine water. It was amazing.
So the water tasted like sardine,
It tasted like a sardine.
and that was the best
Best
thing.
day of my life because I drank 1.5 liters of water
Oh,
in one go.
that's
'cause
a lot of water.
I tasted like there was a sardine.
And you would just keep drinking it because it
and
was
then
like
I
sardine.
pee on the bed.
And then you hear the best.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting question.
Okay.
Is there something you'd like to change about yourself?
Well, sometimes I think that I should be a little bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit longer.
Little bit longer.
Longer.
Because I look at Johnson when
Yeah,
he's
and
lying
and
on
he's-
the
and
on the
he's quite
big bed,
long.
very long, and I only have a little bed,
Yeah.
and I want a big bed like a Johnson. So
Amazing.
I wish I was longer, so then I can have a bigger bed like a Johnson.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Here's another question for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place in town?
Oh, I like a sardine shop.
Sardine
Yeah,
shop.
sardine shop.
I
love it.
have been to a sardine shop
Yeah.
before. I don't have any on me though.
I'm not allowed to go to the sardine shop.
No.
Because I want to go to the
And
sardine
then you go
shop.
a bit
Because the
haywire.
Johnson, he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
He only buy me one can of a sardine every 2 weeks.
Oh, and he comes back from wherever he goes
Yeah.
and he gives you this sardine.
Yeah, and I think if I go to a sardine shop, which must be the best place in town because
Yeah.
it has the sardine.
Yeah.
And I get all of a sardine. But you know what I was thinking?
No.
I'll tell you, Johnson went to Aquarium. And
Did you hear that part of the podcast?
Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was very confused because I thought the sardine was the only fish.
Oh,
But now
no,
I
there's
heard
actually lots of
that-
fish.
What do you mean there are lots
So
of
there's
fish?
lots of fishes. There's like a mahi.
But I wouldn't be as big as sardine though. Sardine is the
Sardine's
biggest
actually
fish.
quite a small fish,
No, it's a
actually.
very big fish.
Have you ever seen a full sardine?
No, he chop into little bits.
So can you imagine if like a sardine is into little bits? If you put the bits together, it's quite a small fish.
There's a fish
There's
bigger than
larger
a sardine.
fish. Yeah, there's larger
Why not
fish.
Johnson get me bigger fish?
That's a question you're gonna have to ask
What the
him.
fish
That's
should?
something
What
he's gonna
the
have
big?
to.
What the big fish should I eat?
Have you ever had a shark?
No, what is shark?
So there's a thing in it called flake, which is actually shark.
I love
but not
flake.
really shark.
I
It's
love
actually-
flake.
We tell ourselves it's okay
I've
to
never
eat it.
had it, but I know I would love
But
it.
actually, if you were to no, you'd actually be quite sad because the fishes they stay in a little cage
Oh, nice.
and you go around in circles.
So I can get to the fish.
yeah, if in that particular
Is
case,
shark bigger than a sardine?
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, I want to eat shark now. Thank you for telling me about shark. You are
No,
a good
I mean,
boy.
thank you so much. I mean, I'd love to know if there's anything else you want to tell people. I just thought this is a great forum, maybe for you to talk to us.
Oh,
about
yeah, I
this.
can tell you
have you got any?
something.
Have you got any things
Yeah,
coming up? In your
well, I sometimes when I go to pub
Yeah.
with the you,
Yeah. Yes, I go to
you're
pub.
Joshy P,
Joshy P, that's me.
I
yeah.
am the King Mike,
King Mike.
and the man who
and
looks
you
like
you
a
like
knight.
licking you like licking
Ah,
his
King,
lips.
kiss
don't you?
him. Sometimes I eat the concrete on the floor, and I
It's
love
crunchy, isn't it?
It's so crunchy. It doesn't taste very nice, but
No.
I love to eat it. And sometimes when I'm there, I also chew through my lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
Well, I was bored because I was at the pub, but I wasn't getting any
Was that
sardine.
we were together at that time.
Yeah.
Do you remember? How do you feel about other dogs? I guess.
Oh, I get so excited.
You get so excited.
But I'm a bit better now.
Okay.
Because Johnson, I was jumping on dog.
Oh no.
And Johnson told me, you're a bad dog. And I could feel
And you don't want to be called that. I'm not even going to say it.
I felt so
I
bad.
would never. I
And-
just want you to know I would never call you
Thank you
that.
very much. I didn't know how to do good. So
No.
when Johnson took me to dog school,
They said
teach
don't
me-
jump on the dog.
Yeah, and they told me how to do reinvert to my behavior. So now I'm good. And now I'm such a good
and
boy.
now you're never a bad dog ever
I
again.
don't jump when there is other doggy.
Yeah.
And then I look at Johnson because I know he's going to give me treaty.
Wow.
Yeah, and I feel very happy.
I think we've gotten so much to the core of
I want
you.
to go and lick my penis now.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go. I think. Oh, look, Jono's coming
He's
inside.
coming inside.
He's
coming
full
in
of
the
grass on him. Yeah, he's got lots of grass on him. Oh, thank you, Oscar.
Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay. You are a good boy.
Thank you very much.
Wow, what a lovely man, Oscar.
I've got hay fever now.
Yeah.
Because I've just been in the grass.
How was it out there?
There was like
Sunny?
a lot of dog piss in the
A lot
ground.
of dog piss.
Yeah.
I can't imagine where that would have come from.
And possum poo as well.
yeah.
Was it a good segment?
Yeah,
By the
it
way?
was
What-
pretty good.
what- yeah.
Oscar had some great answers
He's
to
all tuck
questions.
it out now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so tired after speaking for a little bit.
I think it was all positive, enlightened.
Yeah, I think it was all good, and
Yeah,
I think he loves you, and he doesn't think anything.
And he's like
bad
happy
about
with
you.
the sardines
happy with
and
the
stuff, the
sardines,
size
and,
of them.
and the size of them,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
fact that they are quite big.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
So I
great.
think we're all good then.
All right,
yeah.
fantastic.
See you next
All
time.
right, goodbye.
See ya.
Roses are red. I had a meal for one. That was episode 81.
81.
What do you feel about rhyming something
One
with
with
itself?
one. I mean, if Drake can do it, we can do it.
Yeah. I feel like it's okay if you don't reference it and then like talk about
Talk
it
about it on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Which we never do on this
No.
podcast.
Huge show today,
Huge
Joshua.
show. We do
But
recommendations
Before
first.
that, we're doing recommendations. I went first last week.
I've got a
Joshua.
great recommendation.
I don't know if it was last week. We've done these all out
Oh
of
my
whack.
god, this is messing with our heads. We spent 5 minutes trying to figure out the order of this.
We did. Hit me.
My recommendation for this week is a French show. It's in French
Fuck, here we
language.
fucking go again. Last week, it's this live podcast with a band and they do musical
that's not-
theatre
that's not
improv.
what it is, yeah.
And then before that,
It's the show,
band
it was
called
on Netflix.
Wiener. And now, here's a French SBS porn.
It's
Fucking
not
hell,
on
man.
SBS. I
Yeah.
actually don't know what it's on.
Is it black and white?
It's not.
Is it extremely erotic?
No.
Well, then why am I watching it?
It's a show called Call My Agent.
That doesn't sound
It's-
French.
No, it is. It
It would have been called Je t'adore le mer. I love the ocean.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can say. You say it all the time.
No.
Every time I bring up French.
J'adore le mer. I love the lake. Or j'adore le mer. I love the
Parle un peu
ocean.
français.
Little bit.
You know, that's why I just said you speak a little bit of French.
Oh, yeah. See, I know French. I know French. Yeah.
Un peu.
Yeah. Je m'appelle Tony. Explain what is
So,
this show?
Call My Agent is a French
Doesn't
show,
sound French.
and it's about. Well, no, it's because I'm saying the English name. No shit. So it's about a bunch of agents, and they basically like handle customers, and it's going to be
Yeah.
turned into I believe it's being picked up by America. It's going to be
Of
turned
course
into
it
an American
has.
show, but I don't like.
course it
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched that version,
Yeah.
but the French version is very nice.
So with
Lots of
like
characters,
Pierre and Guillaume and
probably,
Capucine
and you
yeah.
see like if you've heard of like Jean, there's French
Jean-Paul-
but it's one of those shows where like Entourage, where like actual actors play themselves on the show and
cool.
stuff like that.
That's
and
cool
it's
when
actually
they do
super
that.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a super fun show.
I like
That's
that.
my recommendation for
And
this week.
where can we watch it?
I don't know.
Where have you been watching it?
You tell the people about your recommendation.
No,
and
no,
I'm gonna tell you.
it's not
It was on
important. They'll
Netflix.
look it up.
It was on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore.
Not important. People can figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
Joshua,
Be smart for once.
I work at a startup.
You've never said that before.
Yeah. That's why I thought I'd let you know.
Oh, thank God.
There is a show that started in 2014 that I just started watching this week.
Back in-
Silicon Valley.
Oh,
Have you
I
watched
love this
Silicon
show so
Valley?
much. Silicon Valley
It
is a great show.
Fucking incredible. I
It's a
feel
great
like
show. All
a
the
lot of
characters are good
people
on it.
didn't watch
Rachel McAdams is awesome.
it. She's great. She's great.
The main guy, whose name is Thomas Middleditch, is the main guy on it.
Is that
He's
him?
the guy.
There you
he's
go.
the guy that is like the main character.
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
He's in it. Kumail Nanjiani is in it.
Great.
Uh,
he plays I'm not going to say the name. He
and a
plays
couple other
software
people. There's
developer.
lots of people in it. It's
But
a very great show.
What it's about a group of dickwads, pretty much,
Yeah.
nerds,
In
and they
Silicon
make
Valley.
a software. And the best thing about it is like them building a software company. I thought it would be like, like social media or something.
Nah.
They're building a compression algorithm.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing to compress.
It's a fantastic
It's
show.
It's great. And they kind of walk the line of not being too overtly nerdy, but
Yep.
still making fun of that.
Yeah, 100%.
They they do it well. Yeah.
The kinds of sort of antagonists you see are quite
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
The kinds
exactly.
of people you see. I think
It's
I'm
a
about
bit
2 or 3
goofy.
seasons into it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I watched a season in one day.
I watched it so fast as well.
It's short episodes. It's like
Short
20-minute episodes.
but they're
yeah.
fantastic. I think that's a great
Yeah.
recommendation.
There's not really a storyline either.
No, there isn't. Well, there is a storyline.
It's very loose. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a storyline.
It's like one of those overarching things, but the episode, it's not like you're waiting at the edge of your seat to see what happens in the next one. There's kind of like their own stuff going
for
on.
sure, 100%.
It's great. Highly recommend Silicon Valley.
I can double recommend it. And what an amazing show!
What an
today.
amazing show.
What did we start with? We started with
Dining alone.
because we both do it, and
Yeah.
we're trying to not die. It's not dying alone.
You don't want to do that.
No,
you don't. But I
and
think
you
it's
kind of
probably
also
going to
don't
happen.
want to dine alone.
Yeah. Nah, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
overcoming the anxiety. I'm going to dine alone more. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and I'm going to have pasta and champagne by myself.
That makes me
I'm
scared
gonna-
for you.
I'm like sweating thinking
It makes
about
you feel
that.
weird
Yeah.
tummy things.
Yeah.
After that, Jono, we did a great segment which was called Reviewing Me, Reviewing You.
About the
Aquarium.
Yes, well
And
done.
and our
we saw
favorite
some
thing.
fish way bigger than sardines.
Yeah, and we saw a digital immersive experience.
I was so immersed by the digital experience.
It was so digital.
Yeah, I was captivated actually.
I would definitely call it an experience.
I wouldn't recommend.
Nah. And after that, Jono,
We talked about some irrational fears.
talk about dying alone, which is an irrational.
Joshua,
Yeah.
I've just seen a convertible pull up at a man in a trench coat.
Oh, no.
It's been a good run,
Do
everybody.
you reckon it's for you or for me?
Fuck, it's a limousine actually, so it might
Probably
be
for
room
you.
for both of us.
Must be nice. And finally, Jono, we. Oh my God, we had an interview.
I wasn't there, actually.
You didn't. No,
No,
I
no.
interviewed producer of the show, Oscar.
You did?
And it was a great interview. We learnt so much
He's
about it.
fast
And-
asleep now.
And I think
Took
that
it out
there's
of
going to
him.
be hopefully more in the future. I can't wait
For
for
the
maybe.
sake of my throat, we're going to interview some different
who knows?
people.
Maybe Russell might make an
Yeah,
appearance.
he might do.
He was telling me he was interested
Yeah.
in being on the podcast.
The Biffin and the Boffin haven't been on
The
much,
Biffin
so
haven't
it
on
might
the
be,
Boffin.
might be
Biffin
interesting
and the
to talk,
Boffin would be a
to
fun
talk about.
interview.
Damn, and
That would
Pete
be-
as well.
And Video Vlad.
Video
and
Vlad. What are some of the other characters we've had on the show? Oh, we had Alan. Alan was Russell's mate.
Alan was Russell's mate.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had
that fucking guy.
Who's that guy from the mud? I don't know. I hate him.
Guy. Fuck
I
that
think
guy.
I hate that guy.
Fuck that guy. Yeah. Anyway, Joshua, can you hear that? I can't
now I
hear
can
that.
because I pressed the button. We had a lovely show today.
did have
Thank
a
you so
lovely
much
show.
for listening. Check
You're
us out
going
on
away.
our socials. I'm going away for a month.
And a month. Fuck. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that,
thank you.
I'll miss
Thank
you,
God.
man.
See you later.
Bye.